Hello and welcome back to Visit Fylde. Been in the wars. I've been in the wars again this week. You've heard of Calamity Jane. Well, I'm her sister. I'm Tornado Jane. So I thought I'd tell you about my little acrobatics display, I think you could possibly call it. Yesterday morning when we were doing the beach cleaning. It also ties in quite nicely with a little saying that all of you, I'm sure, will have used, and I bet none of you know where it actually came from. So if you're new in these parts, make sure that you subscribe, make sure that you've hit the little bell for notifications, and make sure that you've signed up for your Visit Fylde Coast email newsletter. And then you'll find out when I do my other acrobatics. So, shall we start with the saying, or shall we start with the accident? I think we'll start with the accident. Because that's probably what you sat waiting for me to tell you about. Well, at the moment, Russell Promenade is undergoing quite a lot of work courtesy of Wire Council and Balfour Beatty, and they are strengthening the sea defences, and they're also putting a short cosmetic sea wall in, which, if you've been watching the videos on the beach management works playlist, you'll know all about that, which is quite interesting, and all these great big lorries keep zipping up and down. So the promenade, where you would normally be able to park your car completely for free up at Russell Promenade, is closed for the time being. They've said until Christmas, but I think, frankly, that's going to be a gross overestimation because they're cracking on it at a fair old pace. So anyway, for a few more weeks, possibly a couple of months. So they're putting this little wall in, so there's all these great big articulated lorries coming and turning around and delivering concrete, and diggers and dumpers and breakers and all the rest of it. So it's not really a safe environment to be having 30 beach cleaners wandering about with a plastic sack and a pair of litter pickers. So for the time being, the Russell Beach group is going to meet at the venue, at the venue car park, and then beach clean from the cafe. I've got something in there. Can you tell? I keep twitching at it. Beach clean from the cafe up towards Russell School, rather than starting in the middle and going that way. So yesterday dawned reasonably fair and clear, but a little bit grey. And off everybody trooped up to the venue. That was after one or two false starts when one or two of us got a bit lost. And we handed out the equipment and everybody trooped off onto the beach, and jobs are good and everything's hunky-dory. Well, as you know, I've got a really bad wrist, and I've also got a bad back and all the rest of it. And anyway, so I was standing guard at the top of the prom with all the stuff, with a couple of other people. So I stood on the little sea wall, which is probably about that tall, probably, I don't know, about 18 inches to push, to take a photograph of the people that were beach cleaning, because they look quite impressive, all lined out in their yellow high-vis. Turned round, I was looking at my camera and turning the camera off, turned round to come off the wall and went splat. And when I say splat, I went literally splat. So I put my arm out to stop myself, so I've fallen straight down this side. I've put my arm up like that. I've fallen on my rib cage, on my head. Look, you can see the bump on my head there. And on my right hip, I've got a lovely purple bruise on my right hip. I neatly did a roll and then positioned myself on my other side in the recovery position, which was very, very thoughtful of me, given the fact that we'd done a first aid course only a fortnight ago. So I'm laid there on the floor in the middle of the footpath going, like this, completely winded myself. Bang my head, couldn't breathe because I'd obviously winded all the wind out of my lungs. So everybody's coming to me saying, what have you done? Are you all right? Do you need an ambulance? I said, no, I think I'll be fine. Anyway, as you can see, I am fine. Nothing broken, but it's all very stiff and sore from about there up to about there. And lifting my arms, doing that, it's quite painful, particularly on this side. So I don't think I'll be playing badminton anytime soon. Not that I would have been. Anyway, it made me smile because it reminded me of a well-known expression that everybody uses when you say, I've gone for a Burton. Because did you know that Gone for a Burton originated right here in Blackpool? Oh yes, it did. It's another one of those interesting little snippets of local social history that comes out of Mr. Nick Moore's fascinating history of Blackpool and the Fylde coast. So you might have known that Blackpool was quite a big centre for the troops in World War II. So there's a lot of army training going on, a lot of rehabilitation and hospital stuff and all that kind of thing. Because apparently Mr. Hitler wanted to preserve Blackpool because he got designs on making it his own pleasure place for his soldiers in the event that he won the war, which of course he didn't, and how grateful are we for that. Anyway, so all these airmen are being trained in Morse code. So there's about 2,500 airmen at a time being trained in the old ... thing. And they used to go for a test when they completed their training, which was upstairs in the Burton building. Now, if you're familiar with Blackpool Seafront, and you know it today as it stands, I do believe the Burton building is the one which is now Papa's Fish and Chips. And the airmen hated, loathed and detested this test to such an extent that going to do the test in order to be let loose on the real life Morse code, I suppose. It became known as I've gone for a Burton, because they hated, loathed and detested going to the Burton building for this really difficult test. And then over the years it became known as anything from cancelled leave to missing in action, and then slipped into everyday parlance, and today we still say gone for a Burton. So on Monday morning when I did that, various people among our crowd said, she's gone for a Burton right good and proper today. So there you go. So I fell out of the back door about 6 weeks ago. I've still got a scar on my knee that's healing up, and my ankle's still swollen from that fall. So I'm kind of wondering what I'm going to do next. Anyway, that's my tale of disaster and woe for today. So hopefully next time I shall be in better condition, rather than telling you that I've had another catastrophe. So make sure that you're following. Make sure you hit that little bell for notifications, and then you'll find out next time I go for a burn. And until next time, we'll see you later. Bye for now.